I'm Charles Goyette, and you're listening to the Liberty Express.
If you're serious about making money in this market, then you should be reading one of the industry's most respected investment letters, The Morgan Report. The Morgan Report focuses on money, metals, and mining, and will help you navigate the ins and outs of gold and silver investing. Precious metals expert David Morgan takes a macro view of the current global economic situation, and his research team provides suggestions throughout the resource sector to help you make money during these trying times. The Morgan Report is devoted to uncovering the world's most profitable opportunities in money, metals, and mining. Just go to themorganreport.com and get the information you need to lock in your profits. And if you try the Morgan Report today, you'll receive 3 free special reports, including Silver in the Next Decade. Join silver expert David Morgan at themorganreport.com to receive your 3 free special reports and start investing like a pro. Themorganreport.com.
Welcome back, and joining us, as he always does, on Monday at this time is David Morgan of the Morgan Report. David is our precious metals expert. Primarily, his wheelhouse is the silver market, which is trading roughly around the flat line, $23.15 thereabouts, $23.13 at the moment, down almost 20 cents. David, how you doing today?
Doing well, Alan. Thank you.
David, now that we see the 10-year note trading up around 2.87, the market, well, not today, but, we've seen weakness in the equities while the commodities have been rising, interest rates are rising. Is this, as John Williams noted a couple days ago, that this is the beginning of the end game for the U.S. dollar? Do you think that's the case, or do you think that's being rather dramatic?
Wow. I don't think it's rather dramatic. It depends on what context you put it in, but really you can't put it in any other context than the reality. I mean, if you look at the 1913 U.S. dollar when the Fed was founded, we're at about 4 cents right now. So we've lost 96% of the value. So now what we're really arguing about is what's happening in that last 4 cents and how long will it take and that type of thing. I agree with John. I think the bond market has peaked. The bond market is crucial. It's the most important asset out there in the entire world. Interest rates are moving up, which means bond prices are coming down, and that is the place to look at. Also, you have to see how much appetite or willingness there is to buy the bond. The bond is something that was considered for eons, really, for a long, long time, that it's the most important and secure investment that you can make globally. That's no longer the case. So is this the beginning of the end? I think John's got it right. I really do think it will. As far as, when, how, and all that, we know the why. You can't print yourself out of this. It's a mess. It's going to cause all kinds of disruptions, which we're already witnessing. But as far as how quickly and the exact details, no one can really give you those. We can guess, we can speculate, we can talk about it. But what we do know is they don't end well.
If we are beginning to see the end of the dollar/bond bubble, one of the things that people had always pointed to was a failed treasury auction, but the central bank is buying up all of the treasuries. So can we really ever have a failed treasury auction in that environment?
No, you cannot. It's just like, can you, fail to make good on these payments? I mean, Alan Greenspan, who I'm not really a fan of, but I mean, Greenspan, told it straight out. I mean, there's a couple of YouTube videos you can look up, and someone asked him about Social Security, and so we can print the money to pay Social Security indefinitely. We'll always be able to do that. What we can't do is guarantee what the Social Security payments will be able to purchase. And he's right. I mean, when you're on a total fictional system as far as value is concerned, there's no value behind the money, then you can make up as much as you want. The problem again is, well, what does it purchase? And that's the demise of the dollar. So, no, they can keep printing and they can keep sending out checks and all that. I mean, like, look at the food stamp program as an example. I mean, you could continue to get your food stamps, but if it doesn't provide enough for you to, eat normally, and it had in the past, let's say a year out, it doesn't provide what you need, then there's going to be repercussions, and people, hungry people are angry people. So, there's all kinds of things that will take place, and it takes a while for this to come into the system. In other words, a lot of people have been duped into thinking that, government's all powerful or they can take care of all these problems. And I said this would be a transition year. This is the year, in my view, where most people wake up and say, this isn't working, something's drastically wrong. They might not be able to put their finger on it, but they'll know in their heart of hearts that something is not right with the system.
I think there are a lot of people, the ones that are paying attention to it, feel that way right now. The problem is the policymakers, at least on the surface, don't seem to share that opinion.
Well, that's correct. I think you're spot on, Alan. I mean, they live in this glass bubble as a metaphor, and they're on the Hill, Washington, D.C., and they actually they're not in touch with reality. I mean, their meals, people that shop for them and prepare their meals, and they live in this isolated, ideal setting that doesn't really get them on the ground. Now, I'm not saying that's true of all the Congress critters. There's several Congress critters out there that have a pretty good idea of what's really going on, but they give up their power. I mean, they really don't represent the people in the reality. There's a few. I don't want to beat up on everybody, but the overall reality is most of them don't even have a clue. They're just they actually think that their policies are, one, working or going to work. And, of course, this is anything but true.
Time flies, but I peg it at about, 4 or 5 weeks ago when you and I had done an interview on a Friday, and I had asked you if you thought that day represented a key reversal, and you said that you think that it did, and at that time, silver had an $18 handle on it. Now we see it with a $23 handle. Suppose someone does not currently own a silver position. Would now be a good time to do it?
Yeah, I think it is. I do think we got a little bit more left in this rally. I'm looking for silver to make it to about 24, and we're about 75 cents away from that. Could go higher, may not. I mean, no one knows. The market knows. I would say the best thing to do is dollar cost average, and I just put a new video up on the front of the website at silver-investor.com. It takes 1 minute to watch it, and it talks about a silver savings program that you can get into for as little as $50 a month. And it's really the best way to approach the market. On a dollar cost average basis, when prices are low like they are now, you buy more silver. And if prices go high, you buy less because you're dollar cost averaging. It's one of the rules I have in the 10 Rules of Silver Investing, which you can also get by getting on the website, getting on our free weekly e-letter.
Where is the market now as a multiple of face on junk?
I'm not sure, Alan. You hit me with these questions once in a while. Some of the stuff I don't have on the top of my head, but I can kind of do it.
Well, I had a guy late last week trying to sell me some slicks, and we'll explain all these terms here in a minute. And I've never been a fan of the slicks. I like them in the XFAU condition just because I prefer to look at pretty coins. But he was throwing out a figure of about 17 times face.
Yeah, I really don't know. The calculation isn't that hard. There's 712 ounces in a 1,000-ounce bag. So 712 times 23, what would that be?
Now, you said a 1,000-ounce. You meant $1,000 face.
$1,000 face, I'm sorry.
Well, while you're doing the calculation, what we're talking about, junk silver, these are 1964 and earlier quarters, generally being in average circulated condition. The slick version of that is when they've been worn down so much that if you rolled the coin around in your fingers, they would be rather slick. You wouldn't feel the raising on the obverse and reverse of the coin. So those are slicks. The XF stands for extra fine. AU is about uncirculated. So those are going to have a nice clean appearance to them. Unfortunately, you pay a bit of a premium if you go to get AUs, and when you go to sell them, there is no premium, but I just prefer nice, clean, shiny coins to slicks.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. Yeah, it comes out to 16.4, so 17 is probably in the ballpark. I think it's a little high if they're slicks. Also, there's been a premium on bags now for quite some time, and it hasn't come off. I mean, with silver getting shot down so hard here in the last couple months, and now, of course, it's working its way back, but there's been a premium on bags. And, there used to be, billions of coins out there, and there's not nearly the supply that there used to be, because a lot of these bags have been smelted down in the bars, and that's just the way it is. So I'm not saying they're rare by any means, but what I am saying is there's a lot less of them around than there was, say, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. So,
David Morgan of the Morgan Report. David, hard break, buddy.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll be back on the other side of the break.
Silver123.net is a silver saver program designed to be as simple as possible. For as little as $50 per month, you can set up and create an automatic cost average buying program that will get silver or gold sent to your door on a monthly basis. The first step to creating an account is easy. You will supply some basic information. Next, you will add a bank account from which you will schedule your purchases. Scheduling purchases makes saving easy. Silver Saver is customizable and allows you to control the amount and the date of purchase. Once you are signed up, you are then given your affiliate code. Now you can save in precious metals and also market this program. You can use email, web pages, and multiple forms of social media to share the Silver Saver program. Silver Saver will reward you generously with physical silver or gold whenever someone you refer becomes a saver. Silver Saver not only provides you with a share code, but also allows you to place your own banner ad on a website of your own. Silver Saver is one of the best ways to start saving and accumulating gold or silver, especially at these levels. Visit silver123.net and start saving today.